What's up, everybody? You are very welcome along to Friday Night's Late Night Agenda, which will act as our Everton preview. The FA Cup has come around, and as you all know, the Reds are in action against the now Carlo Ancelotti Everton team on Sunday. I've no idea where to go with the team selection on this one. I've had a pop at it, ladies and gents. I'll do my best, but God knows how much Kloppo's going to rotate for this one. I don't know how seriously he's going to take the FA Cup, and maybe that's not the right phrase for me to be using. Maybe seriousness isn't the right phrase, because of course he's going to want to win every competition, but we all know what the priority is right now. It is, of course, securing that Premier League title. How are we, ladies and gents? I hope we're all well. What have we got? Do you think Craig have cut his ear? No, I didn't cut my ear, Lars, mate. No, I actually forgot to plug my microphone in. That's why I was a minute late. But God, you don't give me much room for error, do you? A minute and you're moaning, mate. A minute. Diet Coke ready, of course. As always, cheers. Here and ready to go. You never have to doubt me on that one. John Cable's in the house, Edith's in the house, Billy Barron's in the house. How are we, everybody? Look, loads for us to get through. Jurgen Klopp has been nominated for the December Manager of the Month. Trent Alexander-Arnold has also been nominated for the Player of the Month for December. So, good recognition there for the manager and Trent for a really good month. Some stiff competition for both awards, but you'd imagine they'd win one of them, particularly if it's a public vote, and we know what the Reds do when it comes to public votes. What have we got? I've absolutely no idea what the squad will be, said Josh Byrne. I've had a pop with it, mate. I'll go through it in a couple of minutes. I'll just wait for a few more people to come in. But yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it, mate? Really, really difficult to pick a team for this one. Hopefully, we're going to see Minamino start, or at least get some minutes anyway. Jack's Gaming World, yes, I do remember you, mate. How are you? Stephen Booker's in the house as well. Ace Governor, Glenn, James, Joshua Hoy, Ibrahim, and loads of others. Cameron as well. How are we all? Anybody who I haven't seen since the new year, Happy New Year to you. Thank you for coming in. I'm not a fan of Diet Coke, or Coke Zero, Cameron. No, it's I don't know. I just don't like the taste of real Coke, even though it's Coke Zero. There's that grittiness to it, mate, that I just don't like. Is it stevia? Is that the thing that they use in Diet or in Coke Zero? I'll just stick to me Diet Coke, mate. I'll just get killed from the aspartame or whatever it's called in it instead. Ella, how are you? Welcome. I like your predicted lineup, said Radical Gambino. Thank you. I went backwards and forwards with it. Made a few chops and changes, and I was pestering poor O'Connor all day, asking him could I make a last minute change to my starting 11, because if you look on Twitter, you'll notice that there is a little tweak to the 11 that I posted up on Twitter. Happy New Year to you as well, George. Welcome, mate. We heard you, man, said Josh Byrne. I don't know what that means, but good. I don't know what you wouldn't have heard me about, but I hope we win because it's Everton and I want to win more, said Claire. That's the thing, Claire. It's really difficult. Usually when we're talking about the FA Cup, the League Cup and stuff like that, I expect a lot of rotation. I don't really mind what team goes out, but we're playing the bidders and I don't want to even go to a replay against them. I want to get it done and dusted, and I'm sure Kloppo will as well. And for those of you that aren't aware, there are replays in this round of the FA Cup, unfortunately. I still can't believe in this day and age they have replays in the FA Cup, but they do. So we're going to want to get this job done in 90. Minamino hat-trick, says Precise Tommy Sausage. That's a really cool name, Tommy Sausage. Love the Minamino song, said Casper. Minamino, here we go again. Wah wah, Salzburg, I will let you go. There you go. In case you haven't heard it, that is the Minamino song. Of course, I didn't come up with it. I'm not that creative. But I will sing it to death in a really awful way. Hey Craig, looking forward to Sunday. Hopefully Mini-Me will start, said Ginger Ninja. Look, let me go through my starting 11 that I've predicted, or had a go at predicting for this one, and as I said, it's very difficult. I've gone for Adrian to get his place in goal. Obviously Alisson is our number one, but usually Kloppo does rotate for the cup game, so Adrian in goal for me. I've gone with Trent at right back. I'm trying to stay as strong as I can with the back four, so I've gone for Gomez and Van Dijk to stay as the centre back pairing. And I've gone for James Milner then to come in at left back and give Robbo a bit of a rest. Midfield trio for me on this one, I've gone for Jordan Henderson, Adam Lallana and Curtis Jones. And then up front is where I've made most of my changes. I've gone for Origi, Minamino and Ryan Brewster. There you go. Now I know Minamino can play as an attacking mid. I know he can play as a wide forward. In my formation there, he's obviously playing as a wide forward. Yeah, I'm absolutely open to hear what you guys have to say. I'm open to see your team suggestions as well. Harvey Elliott was very difficult to leave out, and he may well come in and play. It looks like, if you're to believe rumours or reports in the media, that after this game, Ryan Brewster may well be heading out on loan to Swansea. I think he did work with the Swansea manager before at the underage level for England, if my memory's correct. Is Brewster fully fit? Yes, I believe so, mate. Yes, Kloppo was saying that he is. Yeah, So there you go. Happy days. Cop Council, Connor, how are you, buddy? Said, hi, Craig. Personally think we'll go 4-2-3-1 with Minamino in the 10. I said that to Connor as well. Well, I actually went 4-2-1-3. Sorry, I went the other way. It's possible. Absolutely, it's possible, mate. And I don't want to even try and second guess Jurgen Klopp. But one of the good things, I suppose, about the 4-3-3 system is it can be tweaked either way. So, yeah, could well happen, my friend. Can't wait to see Takumi in the team, said Joshua Fernandez. Plays Salah against Everton, said Shea Trainer. They have to get a rest, though. At some time, Shea, that's the thing, mate. We can't just keep playing the best players all the time. They need to get a rest, and I absolutely understand where you're coming from. I'm petrified at the thoughts of even potentially going to a replay against these fuckers. I want to get it done and dusted. The last thing we need is more games. But that being said, I do expect them to rotate quite heavily, and like you, mate, I want as strong a team as possible to go out there, but this is my guess at what we might actually see. Although, look, I'm usually wrong on these things. Van den Bergen said of VVD, said precise Tommy Sausage. He wasn't great the last time he stepped foot out for the Reds. He showed that he still has a little bit of a way to go. I'd be a bit nervous playing him. It's just because it's Everton, I think. If we were playing Watford or we were playing Leicester, and literally any other team except Everton and United, then I suppose the game wouldn't mean so much, but it's because it's a Merseyside derby and can't stand the thoughts of getting knocked out of a cup to those fuckers. So that's probably why I've gone as strong as I have with defence. What have you got? Adrian, Williams, Hoover, Vandenberg, Milner, Jones, Lallana, Minamino, Elliot Brewster and Origi for David Newell. It's a very young team, that, mate, and yeah, you could well be spot on. I think we might see a little bit more in the centre of defence, so just a little bit more what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Experience, yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. So it's not the real opening squad, said Zida. It is whatever, Zida. Do you know what I mean? It's open to interpretation here, but it looks like Kloppo will make a lot of changes because we're starting to run out of bodies at this moment in time. Although that being said, we will have Fabinho, Matip and Lovren back soon enough. I think Kloppo said that Fabinho is running on the training ground, if my memory's right, which is good news. Zida said Lovren's still injured. Yes, he is. He won't be quite ready for this one. The ref on Sunday will be, surprise, surprise, John Moss, said Casper. Yes, the man who referees 1/3 of the pitch better than anybody else, but can't really make the other 2/3 of the pitch. He tends to hover around the middle third of the pitch, doesn't he? He's how he passes the fitness test, I don't know, but obviously he does or he wouldn't be refereeing. Joshua Hoy said, people, the last time we played Everton, a certain debut header happened. Yeah, it would be nice for a little Minamino first appearance, first goal against the Bitters, wouldn't it? That would be some way to endear him to the Reds fans immediately. Lord Darth Maul said, can't wait for Minamino for his debut. I think he was a bargain for Liverpool, and I think you're absolutely right, mate. I think at the buyout clause of 7.25 million, what a bargain. What an absolute bargain. The hate for Everton in here is tangible, said Dominic Rich FC. Of course. Yeah, they're the Bitters, mate. We don't like them. They're them and United, two teams we can't stand, obviously, for obvious reasons. Outside of football, they're Scousers and we love Scousers, but when it comes to the game, mate, they're Evertonians and we want to destroy them. What have you got? Shabib said, how are you, my brother? Looking forward to Sunday. Lots of love, mate. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Shabib, and so am I. For those of you that aren't aware, the game kicks off at 4:01 on Sunday, and the reason that all the FA Cup ties this weekend are kicking off at 1 minute past the usual kick-off time is because it's for mental health awareness, which I think is a really good idea from the authorities. And look, as we said it before in last night's stream, and I'll repeat it again, if, like myself or anybody else out there, you have suffered with mental health issues, or you are a bit down, or you are struggling, please do speak up, talk to somebody, whether it be a friend, a mental health professional, your GP, whoever it might be. Never feel like you have to suffer in silence or suffer alone. It's okay to ask for help. We're all fucked up in our own unique way and we all struggle from time to time, and I can say from my own experience that reaching out for that help has been life changing for me. So if anybody out there finds himself in a similar position, particularly around this time of the year, please do speak up, please do talk to somebody. We might as well take this opportunity when the FA are raising mental health awareness to talk about it ourselves on here. And as you guys know, it's a subject that's very close to my heart, so yeah, please do speak up. TR Gaming says your tweet blew up. Yeah, it did. The Maguire one. Yeah, it did quite well. Happens once in a while, but yeah, I'm glad. Sometimes you write a tweet, you think, oh, this will do well, and it falls on its arse, and then other times you just throw out something like that real quick, and yeah, it was. It's good to see it getting some love, all right. But it was only a bit of banter, to be fair. But you shouldn't be the world's most defensive defender. It is a bit of an embarrassment to the game, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. Dylan said, we'll just be back for my own match on Sunday for this. Nice. Well, best of luck in your match, Dylan, and hopefully you do get back in time. Casper Hansen said, Harvey Elliott is a baller. You're not going to get an argument from me, Casper, mate. I agree with you 100%. To think that he's only heading for 17 years of age as well is scary. Dave Smith said he hates United more than any other team. I'd probably be with you in that camp, Dave. I suppose one of the things about not being a born and bred Scouser and being from, in my case, obviously Ireland, most of my rivalries growing up were with Manchester United supporting friends. So, yeah, for me, United are probably the team that I always look to beat more than any other. But, you know, if you're a Scouser born and bred, this is the one that you look out for. And of course, we want to beat them. We just do. It's what we do, though, to be fair, as Liverpool fans. We want to beat Everton. We want to beat United. Joshua said, I got a ticket in the main stand upper for this game. Can't wait. Got to shout and support like crazy because our boys need it. Enjoy yourself, Joshua. And as you said, scream your lungs out, mate. Come home nice and hoarse. Craig, I think Lallana has an XC90. Are you jealous? Well, look, there's various reasons to be jealous of Lallana. He's a professional footballer. He plays for Liverpool. He's minted. And as you said, if he drives an XC90, then that's just another one. Plus, he has a full head of hair and a beard. So, do you know what I mean? What channel is the game on? I think it's BT, but it could be BBC. Do you know what? It's BBC One, I think, if my memory's right. Actually, BBC show the FA Cup, don't they? Is Kelleher going to start? And good stream last night, said Thomas McGee. Thank you, Thomas. I don't think so. I would guess that it's going to be Adrian, but I would imagine that maybe Kevin Kelleher will end up on loan somewhere. But look, again, I don't want to second guess or come on and say something that isn't true. This is just my opinion. City Fisher said Curtis Jones to start, in my opinion. Mine as well. City, I think Curtis Jones is an absolute baller, and it's scary how good he is at just 18 years of age. And I'd love to see him in that midfield. I've gone for him in there with Henderson and Lallana. So yeah, it's hopefully he does start, and he won't let us down if he does. He never has, and he never will. He's a wonderful footballer. Tommy Walker said, if we win on Sunday, we're well on the way to eclipse the Manx treble and the Arsenal Invincibles. I really think we can do it. Believe, said Tommy. I do believe, Tommy, but as of yet, I'm not personally. We've won the league in my head. I'll be honest about that one, but I'm not thinking about the Invincible thing yet. I've said all along, if we were to make one statement this season, I'd like to break the 101 points, to set the record for the most ever points in the Premier League. But just winning the title, mate, is first and foremost, isn't it? Exotic Firefly, I think it was, said Craig, love you and your channel. Thank you. We love you as well, mate. Thank you for being here with us. Casper said, Craig, if Lallana leaves us in the summer, who will we replace him with? Well, we've already replaced him with Minamino, mate, by the looks of it. Not trying to be smart. I genuinely believe that that's why he was brought in. Lallana's contract is, of course, up at the end of the season. There's talk that Klopp would like to extend it by a year, but there's also talk that Lallana would like to be guaranteed some more game time, getting to the tail end of his career, and he may not get that at Liverpool. So I would imagine he'll probably move on in the summer, but again, just my opinion. Precise Tommy Sausage said, Harvey Elliott, the new Mane, question mark. He's a long way to go, but he has the world at his feet as well. He is a really, really talented footballer. He just needs to settle down. He needs to take his time. But look, he's working under the best gaffer there is out there to develop young players, in my opinion. And I think he'll be an absolute baller, as you said. He's a great footballer. Ben said, good afternoon, Craig. Good luck on the weekend. Thank you, Ben. Good evening from me. I think probably afternoon in your neck of the woods. Do I think Gomez is world class? No, I don't. But I'm very, very stingy when it comes to using the phrase world class in Brahim. I think he could well go on to become world class, but if you're talking world class in that position, you are talking Virgil van Dijk, Laporte. You know, there aren't very many, in my opinion, that you would put in that very, very top bracket. But Joe Gomez has the world at his feet, like I said about Harvey Elliott, and he's got plenty of time on his side to develop into a world class talent. But for me, just yet, no, I wouldn't put him quite high in that bracket. Nabil said, I hope Arsenal win the Europa League and qualify for the Champions League. It's looking like their best route, Nabil. It's a difficult competition to win, particularly now when you've got the teams that are dropping out of the Champions League, dropping into it. Salzburg, going to be difficult as well for anybody to beat in the Europa. Everton chasing the mighty Clavan, apparently, said Stephen Soar. Yeah, I did see that. I'd seen them linked to Clavan, and I'd seen them linked to Darren Randolph as well. Obviously, Republic of Ireland goalkeeper. I think they want backup in the goalkeeping department, so maybe he'll go there as well. Shaqiri is injured. Yes, he is. Donald Trump's hair was offsides of Brian Morrissey. I don't know what that's about, but I imagine it was a good call. What else have we got? Gomez will be world class, and Joshua Fernandez. Again, mate, you're not going to get any argument from me on that one. I'm just saying that right now, I don't think he's there yet. But look, I think even he would admit that he's still got developing to do when he's got time on his side. Jack's Gaming World sub. Thank you, mate. We're really close, actually, to our next 100 target. So if you are watching, ladies and gents, you haven't yet subscribed, you know what to do. Hit that button and let's see if we can get to 31-2 on this stream. Liverpool has one world-class centre-back, said Dominic Rich. Don't you fucking dare, Raggy, said Connor. I don't think he will. I really hope he doesn't go to the bidders, mate. We'll have to cancel the statue if Ragnar Klavan goes. We'll have to cancel it. We can't be doing with that now. See the Pope slap the woman on Remembrance Day of violence from women. Yeah, I didn't see it, but I did hear about it. But look, I'm not a religious person. I couldn't give a fuck what the Pope does. Obviously, I don't condone anybody slapping women. But I don't know what the context was to that whole situation or what type of a slap it was. But violence is never the answer. We can say that. Top of the morning to you as well, Gary, mate. Top of the morning? Christ, where are you, Gary? When do you think Minamino's first league goal will be, Asleys? I don't know, mate. I honestly don't know. Be lovely if it was against Spurs, wouldn't it? That's our next league game, so why not? Do you think we should get Eduardo Carnavinga? I don't know who the fuck he is, Pablo, if I'm being honest about it, mate. Is he the guy from Atalanta? Or is that somebody else? Because I know that I think Juventus are about to sign a guy from Atalanta that we were linked with, but I'm not sure who that person is, mate. Sorry for showing my ignorance there. What else have we got? Bernadette, how are you? Welcome in as well. Alex said, thinking about dodging the draft and moving to Liverpool. The draft? What country are you in, mate? Do you have national service in your country? Mate, if you're going to move anywhere, Liverpool's a lovely city, so I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life, but I'm sure you'll enjoy wherever you end up. What's happening, Craig? Haven't been in a few streams and I'm back, said Mark Meehan. How are we, Mark? I hope life's treating you well, mate, and Happy New Year to you. Look, ladies and gents, I'm going to run through my team again one more time, and I want to get your thoughts on it, as well as, of course, your own starting 11s for the game. As you can see from my prediction on this one, because we're probably going to be playing somewhat of a weakened team, I'm going for a 2-1 win for the Reds, and I take that, to be honest with you. So I've gone for Adrian in goal, Trent at right back, Gomez and Van Dijk, and then I've gone for Milner at left back. The reason I've gone for the two centre back pairing that I have, the two strong centre backs, is because I've gone a bit weaker elsewhere in the team. Then I've gone for Henderson, Lallana and Curtis Jones, and then Origi, Minamino and Brewster. Whether that's a 4-2-1-3, whether that's a 4-2-3-1, whether that's a 4-3-3, I don't know. But we'll wait and see. Chris Penfold, your name always gets me, Penfoldivany, sorry Chris, said, hi Craig, Liverpool injuries are piling up, it's a concern. Yeah, look, lots of clubs, mate, are picking them up though, to be fair. I seen, was it 4 for Newcastle in one game recently? And that's what happens at this time of the year, buddy. All those minutes in the legs take their toll, but thankfully it looks like Lovren, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Matip and Fabinho won't be too far away from coming back. He's the player from League One that's been looked at as a world-class midfielder. Madrid are also looking to sign him. Thank you, Pablo. I must do some research on him, buddy, but I do appreciate you raising the name. Brace DeVille said, hey, happy to be top of the league, Craig, and every day is top of the league day, and it looks like it will be for quite a while, mate. Yeah. Clavin is the Estonian Messi. You best believe it, Claire. You best believe it. Logan said, Elliot, question mark. Yeah, I left him out of my 11, Elliot, and it was really difficult to do so. And the reason that I did is, maybe it's a bit of optimism for Minamino to start, and also the fact that I believe Brewster will probably head out on loan after the game to Swansea, and this might be one of his last chances this season to get a start for the Reds. So with that in mind, that's probably why I've left Elliot out, but it was a tough call, and he would be the first one in if I was to change one player. John Morris said Minamino was something special. Christian Flame said Karius. Actually, I want to take a second to talk about the United stand, actually, for just 1 second. I'd seen their account, well, Connor showed me that their account had tweeted out to say that they were starting to get a bit of grief their way. And look, when we do these things, and I don't want to speak for the United stand, I'm only speaking from my perspective. When you do these things, when you start a YouTube channel or you do a podcast or you make videos or whatever it is you do, you expect some flack. You expect a bit of banter and you expect a little bit of abuse. But to see that it's now starting to turn to intimidation towards the United stand and AFTV, this is going a little bit too far for my liking. I mean, we all put ourselves up here to be judged and accept the banter that comes our way. But I genuinely am saddened to hear that the guys are starting to receive some intimidation and stuff with doing their fan cams and things like that. I don't always agree with what everybody has to say, but I do agree with the right and the freedom to do it, and they should be able to do so safe because they're football fans, like any other football fan attending a game. I don't agree with a lot of your opinions on here, guys, and you don't agree with a lot of mine, but we're always mostly civil about these things, and anybody I've ever met face to face has been the same. So to hear that the United stand lads are starting to get a bit of intimidation their way, I just want to say, look, I've got their back all the time. Not that it probably means anything to them, but Mark's been very good to us, and I just want it to stop because they're football fans at the end of the day and they shouldn't have to go through that stuff. So just thoughts with the guys, and I hope everything works out for them. Connor said, imagine if we go unbeaten this season. We were 11 millimetres from going 2 seasons unbeaten in a row. Can't think like that though, buddy. You'll drive yourself mad if you start thinking about stuff like that. Dave Smith said, can't see Minamino start in the league game just yet. Klopp likes to slowly bring them in. True, but he did say, Dave, that he's quite fit and he will get up to speed quite quickly, so there is that hopefully in his favour. Felix said, let's go, you Blues. Welcome in, Felix, mate. Great to have you with us. We welcome everybody in. All we ask is that, you don't spam the chat like you're doing now, mate, because you're going to get kicked out very soon if you keep spamming the chat. That much I can promise you. Look, you're gone now already, and rightly so. Don't spam our chat, mate. You were like everybody else. We welcome everyone in, but we don't let people spam the chat because it takes away from other people's comments, buddy, and it makes it harder to pick out the genuine ones. Colin said, Craig, I would say Gomez at right back, Sepp Vandenberg centre back with Millie at left back. What do you think? Could be. I would rather play Hoover at right back and play Gomez at centre back, personally, if I had the choice. Mikey said, Minamino won't start just yet. He'll be like Origi. I don't know, mate. We're running out of legs. And the FA Cup could be a good opportunity to give him a run out. But again, I'm not going to second guess Kloppo. What have you got? Rabadan, welcome, mate. It's your first super chat of the night, thank you. Said I'm putting £10 on City drawing against Hartlepool, or drawing Hartlepool next. They do tend to get a handy old draw, don't they, in the domestic cups, but it is what it is. Liam Tyler with the little super sticker dude. How are we, mate? I love that little dude. Morton said, please don't get knocked out by the Eslaw. I'm with you, Owen. You don't want it to happen. I don't even want it to go to a replay, mate. And as I said, I can't believe there are still fucking replays in the FA Cup. It's ridiculous. Alex Gomez, thank you for the super chat, mate. Said you're the best YouTuber. Genuinely, any comment like that, mate, I always take, of course, with a pinch of salt, but it means the world to us that you take the time to put kind words in like that, mate. Thank you. What have you got? Is Oxlade-Chamberlain injured? Yes, he is injured, Colin. Who will be your holding midfielder? Lallana. In that system I have there, probably Henderson, but could be Lallana. Depends what way Kloppo wants to set up. Lallana usually, if he used to play in that role, will do it in games where we want to dominate possession and keep things ticking over. Thomas McGee said, Craig, you're bang on. That's why you're the best. Thank you, Thomas. I can be an asshole, mate. Trust me, I can be a cranky so-and-so as well, but I'm always honest. That's one thing you will get from me on here. Honest, cheesiness, cringiness, and a bit of fun, hopefully, along the way. But I am me, mate, and I am honest, so thank you for that. What do you think of Diego Carlos? Asked Ryan Evans. I've been looking into him a little bit, Ryan, mate, since I'd seen Liverpool linked to him. Obviously, Sevilla centre-back, 64 million quid buyout clause, I believe. Real Madrid, I think, were also linked with him. It's the money, though, isn't it? It's the money, mate. I mean, I'm always divided when it comes to transfers, because in one sense I think, should I really give a shit about the money as a fan? All I need to know is that the club can afford to buy somebody, and after that, as long as it's the player the Kloppo wants, who am I to moan about it? But then other times I just think, 64 million, is it the position that we really need to be strengthening? But then again, with that in mind, it is I won't say an open secret, but it's believed that Lovren will probably head off at the end of the season. And this Diego Carlos thing was for the end of the season, from what I've read. So maybe there is something to it. I don't know. But one thing we can say for certain is when it comes to negotiating, there aren't many better than Michael Edwards. So if there's a deal to be done, then El Mickey will get it done to as good a degree as possible for the Reds. Craig, are you related to King Kong Bundy? Yeah, I lent him my testicles, mate. And obviously he hasn't given me back my hair yet, but yes, I am related to King Kong Bundy. Did you come up with that original bald fat man comment all by yourself, mate? Or did you get a team of idiots together to have a pop at it? What else have we got? I'm new when I subbed, said Liverpool fan 200. Thank you. Really appreciate that, pal, and welcome to the family. Jack, United fan here. I don't think you guys need any new players. We do need a backup left back, Jack, to be honest. We've got Larouci coming through. We have some other good young left backs as well, but it is a position that I think we could do with some depth in. But then again, Kloppo could look at the youth team and go, Larouci's there. Who's the other guy that was coming through at left back? Adam. I can't think of his name right now. Gone blank. But yeah, we do have options, but you should always be looking to strengthen. And I suppose if a player becomes available that Jurgen Klopp believes will, Adam Lewis, isn't that who I'm trying to think of, will come in and do a job, then you got to act. Particularly if it's somebody like Minamino for that ridiculously low price of 7.25 million quid. Lewis 7 winger says Spurs need Poch back. He's not going back, mate, but he has said he's open to coming back to the Premier League at some point. I think he'll probably end up in Spain, if I'm being honest, or maybe even take the Bayern Munich job at the end of the season. Who's my favourite player from our squad? Asked is it Taher93? Firmino, mate, Bobby Firmino. He's my favourite player, but he's also the one that can frustrate me the most. Him and Sadio can do things that blow your mind, and they can do things that frustrate the shit out of you. But yeah, Bobby's my favourite player. I love him. How could you not? What have you got? Neem said, due to 30 years of pain without winning the league, I'd love to go invincible all season. Also just to shut up the Arsenal fans. Now, let me ask you guys a question, right? Let's have a little bit of a vote here while we're all in the chatty mood. If you could take either Invincible with 95, or no, let's say Invincible with 97 points, or 103 points and we lose a game, what would you take? So would you rather break the 101 points barrier, or would you rather go Invincible and go sub 100 points? Give me your thoughts on that one, ladies and gents. Who do I think will score for both teams? Well, look, if you're going on form with Everton, probably Calvert-Lewin. Who will score for the Reds? I'd like it to be Van Dijk. I'd like him to pop up another header. And after that, maybe Hendo. He's probably due one. Right, what have you got? 103, 103, 103. Invincible, Invincible, Invincible. 103, said Morton. Invincible for Sean Burke. Bassett's gone Invincible. Column 103. The one 103. Rather break 100 points. And Radical Gambino. Same for Patbot. Yeah, it's fairly split, which has been the kind of response that I've gotten on Twitter as well when I've chatted about it on there. If I'm to have a guess from what you guys are saying, I would think breaking the 101 points seems to be a little bit more favourable from your comments, but it is a tough one, isn't it? And to do either would be amazing, don't get me wrong. My personal preference would be to break the 101 points, because in my mind that would make us the best Premier League team of all time, because we'll have put up the most points. What have we got? 100 plus points at Stephen Booker. Hendo will get a rest, said Harry Carling. Most probably Harry, mate. You're probably right. That's just a guess from my team, but yeah, you're probably right. You could do a rest in as many people as possible, to be fair. Brian's being greedy. He wants me to take a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B. So what are we going for? 102 points and Invincible then, Brian? 112, 112. I don't think we'll quite go the rest of the season with only the one draw in hand, but Christ almighty, if we did, talk about unbearable. They wouldn't have a clue what unbearable meant until that was the case. What's your thoughts on the US and Iraq war? My thoughts are, mate, that it isn't my concern. I don't talk about politics. I'm not educated enough on the subject to talk about it, but I never want to hear of anybody dying. That's one thing I can say. Bear with me, just going to take my inhaler. Sorry, needed to take my inhaler there. It did look like a weird little contraption. Sorry. Minamino will score, said Pete Dyer. Don't know about 112 or 102 or 105 will also be great. I think it'll be a record. If we win our next league game against Spurs, I believe that we will have gotten off to the best start of any team in any major league in Europe, which would be amazing. Definitely the Premier League anyway. Thoughts on McLean? Same as any player, mate. Whether it be James McLean getting sectarian stuff thrown at him, whether it be a player getting racial stuff thrown at them, whether it be a player getting stuff about their nationality thrown at them or their sexual orientation, there's no place for it in the sport, mate. And I'm not saying this because James McLean's Irish. I'm saying it because nobody should be subjected to that for taking part in a game of football. Tell him he's shit if you don't like him. Fair enough, he's open for banter in that sense, but all the other hate speech and stuff, you know my opinion on it, mate. There's no place for it in the sport, and no footballer should be subjected to it. And yeah, we just need to grow up and report these idiots if you see them inside the stadium. Is Klein still on loan? No, Billy, he's out, mate. He did his ACL at the start of the season. But he is back training, and it looks like he will be available to either play or transfer this month. But yeah, he has been out, unfortunately. Craig, City sang derogatory songs about us in the plane back from Brighton. I say being invincible in 112 points, City crawl back under the rock. Yeah, they weren't very gracious in victory, which is a strange thing to say. But we are in their heads, mate. They are fucking obsessed with us. Every time they play, they're singing about us. Their manager never shuts up talking about us. But yeah, there was a little bit of lack of class showed there. And look, they've every right to celebrate winning the league title, particularly in the way they did it. To win 14 games in a row like that was a tremendous achievement. But yeah. Maddie Newton said the IRA killed a member of my family. Obviously, mate, I'm terribly saddened to hear that a member of your family was killed. But don't bring any of the IRA, Republican, sectarian, loyalist nonsense into the chat, buddy, because it's not the place for it. But I genuinely, of course, am saddened to hear of the death of one of your family members in the past, mate. You have our thoughts and our best wishes on that, of course. Is the chav machine or is the inhaler the new chav machine? It'd be great if we could get Diet Coke in that way, if we could just give a little twist and a little suck in the yolk. Ooh, hello sailor. Craig's such a straightforward guy. I love how he tells it as he sees it. I'm blunt, yeah, I'm definitely blunt, mate. And anybody that knows me outside of the streams will know I'm probably even more fucking blunt in real life. But I don't see the point in sugarcoating shit. Just say it as you see it, and hopefully people dig what you're doing. And if they don't, hey, can't please everyone. What have we got? I'm going to have a good day and sing good luck on Sunday, said Jack's Gaming. Enjoy it, buddy. City are a small club, said Stephen Booker. What have we got? We should bring in both Norwich fullbacks in the summer. Who are we talking about here? Aarons, is that one of the guys you're talking about? I don't know who the other one is, but Norwich have some very good young footballers in their team for sure. Do I watch the young offenders? Yes, I do, Colin. It's fucking brilliant. I really, yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it is. It does make me laugh. Boy is in the house. How are we, sir? Welcome. Gerard or Reina? Gerard. Of course, Gerard Thomas. Gerard's a legend. Celtic or Rangers? Neither. Couldn't give a fuck about Scottish football, Colin, mate. And if I had to be pushed on it, Aberdeen, just to be awkward. What have we got? Marley said he really wants Minamino to score. It would be lovely for him to score on debut. Yeah, I'm with you. Jamal Lewis is the other one, Basta. Thank you. I love that you're not up your own arse. I never will be, mate. It's not my nature. Yeah, I'd hate myself if I was ever up my own arse. Do you know what I mean? My missus and kids wouldn't let me away with it either. Nor would Connor, to be fair, and rightly so. Well, that's the thing. I'm not a fucking expert, mate. I'm just a fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm a fan of the sport. I've been around the game all my life. I love talking about it. I'm not always right. In fact, a lot of the time I'm probably wrong, but it's a pleasure to be able to come on here and chat with everyone. To be able to bring us all together in this little group on a nightly or bi-nightly basis is it's very humbling and something I really appreciate. Milner will be another player that's won the Premier League with different clubs, said Peter Dyer. Yeah, I was so happy for Jimmy when he got the Champions League because it was the one trophy that had eluded him from a very illustrious career. Do I support an Irish team? Not really, mate, no. I would lean towards Shelbourne if I was to say any Irish club that I would have an affinity for. The one that I grew up closest to was Bray Wanderers. They were just a few miles up the road from where I grew up. What have we got? Ibrahim said, Craig, do you know if we beat Arsenal at the Emirates that goodbye to their bragging rights? Do they have any bragging rights left, Ibrahim, to be honest, mate? Yeah, I don't know if Arsenal have any bragging rights left. Am I coming to London anytime soon? Yes, we're going to be there on the 14th and 15th of January and on the 17th of January. On the 14th and 15th of January, myself and Connor are going over to London for the launch of La Liga TV. We were invited over to the launch. We're going to get to meet the likes of Graham Hunter, Guillaume Balaguer, Gaisca Mendieta, Gus Poyet. I believe the president of the Liga is going to be there as well. So very humbled and excited to be going over for that one. And then I'm going over on Friday the 17th to do some more filming with 888. So yeah, busy week that week. Any update on Mane to Real Madrid? Yeah, you can file that one under definitely not happened, Benjamin, mate. He signed a new contract in November, I think, of 2018. And he's not going anywhere. And why would he downgrade and go to Real Madrid, mate? You know what I mean? Why would you? You're at the best club in the world right now. Cannot believe Ollie got nominated for Manager of the Month. Yeah, I mean, they did have a decent period throughout December, to be fair. But, yeah, look, Kloppo should be winning it every fucking month, shouldn't he? I mean, when you've dropped 2 points all season, makes sense, you should be winning it every month because you're just winning every game pretty much. Do I watch rugby? Yes and no. I would watch the Six Nations. I would watch some of the European Cup, or the Heineken Cup, or whatever you want to call it. But I wouldn't call myself a massive fan, no. Boy, said Arsenal bragging rights. Yeah, they don't really have many, do they, these days? What part of London is that? Shoreditch, I think, is the area we're going to for the La Liga thing. What have we got? Craig, would you not get a season ticket and then do away matches on this stream? How am I going to get a season ticket, Colin? Mate, I can't even get tickets to go to a game. I've been very fortunate this season that one of our subscribers kindly offered up 2 tickets to myself and Connor to go over for the Villa game, of which I'm infinitely grateful. But yeah, mate, getting tickets are like gold dust, and sometimes if we do get a chance to get them, there are a couple of other people who occasionally offer them to us, but they can be very last minute. And again, travel would be difficult, but I wish I had a season ticket, mate. I promise you my ass would be over there quite a lot if I did. Grant said, Van Dijk is a machine. He can play 100 games a season non-stop. He is pretty fucking good, Grant, isn't he? He's pretty good. Frankie de Jong regrets joining Barcelona, said Colin McAteer. I thought that was the wrong move for him. Not because, obviously, I'm being, derogatory towards Barcelona. I think at that age, to make that big of a move, I think he probably should have either stayed at Ajax or went somewhere a little bit less prominent than Barcelona. At that age, you've heard me speaking about James Maddison before, and I've said if I'm advising James Maddison, I'm telling him not to leave Leicester for at least 18 months because he's developing really well there. He's got time on his side, and football is littered with players who make big moves too early in their careers and they don't quite work out for whatever reason. Now, I'm not saying Frankie de Jong's won't work out. He's a tremendous footballer, but I just thought he could have taken a few more years to develop and then got his big move, because if anything, he was only going to get better. Adam Doherty said, Craig, sorry if I'm talking quick tonight. I'm trying to get through as many comments as I can. Craig, love this stream and the community you've built. Love from Kerry. Again, mate, we built it, but we built it together. Myself, Connor, Brian, Cash, Dave, Chris, everybody. But most importantly, you guys, because it's all well and good us coming on and making the streams, but without you guys coming in and chatting, subscribing and doing what you do and your support to the channel, mate, there wouldn't be a community to speak of. So look, as always, right back at you. Thank you. What have we got? How do I say this? Excites? Is that how I pronounce that? Said 4-1 my prediction because we won 5-2 last time. Ibrahim said the last bragging rights is the 49 unbeaten matches in the league and we can break it, we play them. No, mate, we can't. We break it, we play Manchester City. Manchester City will be our 49th game, I think. Could be wrong on that one, but if my memory is correct, Manchester City is the 49th game. But again, I could be wrong. Who do you think is better, Maddison or Grealish? Maddison, but they are both very good footballers. I mean, I've got to be fair, I underrated Grealish for quite a long time, but he really is starting to come out of his shell now and show what he's so highly thought of. But I would rather Maddison, personally. Craig, I agree, you should be Maddison's advisor, said Boya. Honestly, I think that's what he should be being advised, mate. He's at a club right now where the manager loves him, the fans love him, the team is set up to get the best out of him and Vardy, and he's developing really well. I don't see any rush for him to go anywhere. The big moves are always going to be there if you're good enough, and he seems to be more than good enough. Craig, have you figured out the way you can join the channel with your 30k subs? Yes, we're working on it, Daisha, mate. What happens is we have to submit some stuff to YouTube. They then have to look at it, make sure it's all okay, and then gives the go ahead to turn the memberships on. Connor is just about to submit the stuff that we need to submit in, and then it'll be in the hands of YouTube, mate, however long it takes. Yeah, we'll wait and see. What have you got? Someone said 31,200. Congratulations. Oh, yeah, just about there. There you go. Thank you, whoever that was that subscribed. But please do keep hitting that button, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of transfer news as well. Herbie Kane has joined Hull City on loan for the rest of the season. So, again, I don't think Herbie Kane has a future at the Reds, if I'm being bluntly honest about it. But, yeah, look, I hope that goes well for him. And I hope, playing the Championship, that's a decent level. And hopefully he continues to progress with his career. But I've always been honest when I talk about younger players and whether I think they will or won't make it. But at the end of the day, my opinion doesn't really matter, does it? It's Klopp's opinion that matters. We'll have won it by the time we go to City, said Stephen Booker. I think it's the 49 game thing though, Stephen. I think that if my memory's right, City would be the 49th game for us, which would equal Arsenal's record or beat the record. Would love this to be a big score, 3-0 to us, but I think it'll be a draw, said Paul Ward. I hope it won't, Paul, mate. I really fucking do, because the last thing we need is a replay, mate. The last thing we need is a replay. Does Klopp fancy Herbie Kane? I haven't got a clue, mate. Sorry. £75 million header on Sunday, said Thomas McGee. Can we talk about Emiliano Buendia? We can if you want, mate, but I don't really know what you want to say about him. But feel free to put whatever you want in the chat, and I'll do my best to read it out. It's better for Minamino comes on a 60 minutes so that the Anfield crowd cheers him, said Ibrahim. Or he plays 60 minutes, scores, and goes off to a standing ovation, Ibrahim. I will raise you that, sir. Radical Gambino said, Bob Paisley and Bill Shankly in the fields of Anfield Road. We are loyal supporters, and we come from everywhere, really, don't we? We're everywhere, us. Any more little bits and pieces? So as we know, the other night Liverpool set a Premier League record of 969 passes, the game against Sheffield United yesterday, with an accuracy rate of 90.1%. Virgil van Dijk was actually the player who made the most individual passes for Liverpool that night, racking up a remarkable 131 passes in that game against Sheffield United. I mean, these Reds just keep breaking records, don't they? Week after week there's some record or another that we're breaking, and to do 969 passes in a game of football, I mean, I genuinely never thought that we would be even up there for those type of records, because when I think of dominating the football and passing, I genuinely lean towards thinking about Manchester City more, because there are times that this Liverpool team are a little bit more direct, and that's what makes us so good. We mix it up a little bit, so to hear that we've broken that record, genuinely, what an amazing thing to do. Like 969 passes and over 90% of them to be accurate. Class. And then our centre back to have the most passes in a game at 131. That is amazing. Craig Suarez came on and scored against Stoke in his first game, said Gary Richards. Yes, and those are darker days though, mate. You know what I mean? Those are definitely darker days. 969, what a number. Yeah, there is a little bit of... That was my attempt at whistling. There you go. I got it right second time. Yeah, hello Sailor. There's a little something to 969, isn't there? What have we got? Be nice to know which stat is correct. Seeing 1106. The stat is 969, Eddie, without any doubt, mate. You might see 970 floating around somewhere, but 1106 is incorrect. It's 969, mate. That's the stat that's been going around the media all the time. Goo poo to you again, Craig. Alex, I love that, mate. Goo poo to you, sir. What a phrase that is. We all need a bit more goo poo in our life, Alex, don't we? I love to see people being so happy and welcoming to buy it as well. As you know, if you're a fan of football channels and you like what we do, and I know we get a lot of fans in here that aren't Liverpool fans, we get Everton fans, United fans, Arsenal fans, Leicester City fans, please do go over and check out Boya's channel. He's a Leicester City fan, but he's a really nice guy, runs a great channel. There's so many good little fan channels out there as well. We've got Connor Niblett there, the Cop Council, another good Liverpool channel. Obviously, we've got the big boys as well, the Anfield Rap, Redmen TV. We've got the United Stand. So many good fan channels out there. Blue Van Man as well for Leicester City. Toffee TV. Loads of great fan channels out there, but Boya is a good friend of us, and if you like what we do, I'm sure you like what Anthony does as well, so please do check out his account. Okay, what else? What does Goopoo mean? I don't know, Cameron, mate. I've no fucking idea. He just put it in the chat the other day and it made me laugh, so Goopoo to you as well, Cameron. Harvey Elliott should start. Bring him on. 20 minutes to go on Sunday. The kid's got skills, said Grant Peterson. Grant, mate, no argument for me. I love Harvey Elliott. I think he's a wonderfully talented young man. And whether he starts or whether he comes on as a sub buddy, as long as he gets some minutes, I'm sure he'll shine because he's a wonderful footballer. Scary to think that he's only turning 17 years of age soon. Nobody important said Blue Van Man, what a man. Yeah, another great YouTuber, another great football fan, and by the looks of it, another great lad. Hopefully I'll get to meet him someday, say hello to him. And Dom as well, Manchester City fan. Dom runs a great account as well. I'm sure you guys know Dom. Hello from Poland, Slowo. Hello to you, sir. Welcome. And boy, you're very welcome, mate. And you know I mean it because I don't talk nonsense, mate. You are genuinely one of the nicest guys I've met on here. Sound fella and a good person as well. What have we got? Yes, but Leicester can only finish second. That is true, Zeta. That is true. And it would be great, wouldn't it? It would be a lovely story for them to finish second and pip Manchester City. If I'm being brutally honest about it, I think they'll come third. I think Manchester City will claw them back. But to do what they're doing this season is a remarkable achievement. Obviously not as good as when they won the Premier League, but, well, from a points perspective, actually it might be better. I think Brewster has missed his chance, said Kevin Whittle. I don't think he has yet, Kevin. As I was saying at the start of the stream, mate, it looks like he's probably going to go on loan to Swansea. But he's still young. And injuries have curtailed, I suppose, his development this season a little bit. But I fully believe in Ryan. He is an immense talent. And Klopp and Liverpool fought really hard to keep him at the club when he was signing his first professional contract. There was interest from everywhere. You might remember at the time, actually, we cancelled a friendly against Borussia Mönchengladbach because they were being a little bit too boisterous in their approach towards Ryan Brewster, and Kloppo wasn't having it. Kev said he'd be in Marrakesh for the Spurs fixture. Jealous much, Kev, am I? Yes. Not going to be easy finding a sports bar there. Kev, you're getting no sympathy from me, mate. You're going to be in Marrakesh, buddy. Wonderful place. Somewhere I really want to visit someday as well. And I hope you and the family have a lovely time, Kev. Yeah, poor Kev, said Brian. Yeah, exactly. Oh, poor Kev has to go to Marrakesh. God bless him. Again, anybody who lives in a warm environment or goes off on holidays anywhere so he doesn't get any fucking sympathy. Craig, do I agree with managers having Instagram? I don't see why not. I mean, I'm sure like any other professional organisation that the club will have certain rules that managers and players have to adhere to when it comes to social media and how they represent the club. And yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, the more in touch with the fan bases that players and managers can get, surely that's a good thing. Have I been to Donegal? Yes, I've been to Letterkenny, mate. Actually, funny story, my daughter just came back from Letterkenny today. Do I watch Gaelic football? Yes and no. I don't watch club football that much, but I do watch county football. Obviously, I watch the All-Ireland, of which, 5 in a row, Dublin dominating. Dex Finest said it's going to be 3-0. Hopefully that's to the Reds, Dex. United are rubbish, said Ibrahim. You're not going to get any argument from me on that one, sir. Chris Barham said, do you still think Brewster will be good enough? I have a feeling he'll be a good top 6 striker, to be honest. I'm really excited for Hoover. He looks a proper talent. Yes, I have every belief in Ryan Brewster. I have every belief in Harvey Elliott, every belief in Curtis Jones, every belief in Kiana Hoover and Sepp Vandenberg. Those players, to me, will go on to be top professionals. Ryan's been a little bit unlucky this season with injuries and stuff, but hopefully the loan spell to Swansea, if that's where he ends up, will do him good, and he bangs in a couple of goals, gets his confidence up, comes back in the summer, impresses the manager, and we see a lot more of him next season. What was your daughter doing in Letterkenny? I live here. One of her friends' grandmothers live in Letterkenny, and they went up there to spend some time up with her grandmother, mate, and they had a great time. Went quad biking and stuff, had lots of fun. She said it was cold though, which, to be fair, mate, Donegal is fucking freezing. Although you mightn't feel it being a local. Can I see my comments? Yes, Ryan, I can, mate. But basically, that's just you jumping up and down saying, "Look at me! Look at me! Look at me!" Of course, we can see your fucking comments, Ryan. If you can see them in the chat, I can see them in the chat, buddy. And if I haven't read one of them out, I promise you it wasn't on purpose, mate. Just must have missed it. Try and read out as many as I can, though, buddy. Where do you think Minamino will play? He can either play as a wide forward or he can play as an attacking midfielder. Where Klopp will utilise him, I don't know. I've no idea. I would guess he might rotate him in one of the wide forward positions to give Mane or Salah a rest occasionally, but I don't know. Has Klopp had a bad signing yet? I suppose we could talk about Karius if you count that as a bad signing, I suppose. We'll make a profit when we sell him. We'll probably more than double the money we paid for him. But that's probably the least successful one I can think of so far. But even at that, I think it was only like £4.5 million, something like that at the time. Have I been to Kerry? No, actually, Adam, I've never been to Kerry, mate. Yeah, Kerry is one of the only counties in Ireland I've never been to. Mane will or should play in the number 10, said Kevin Whittle. I think Brewster's still in Klopp's plan, said Gary Richards. I think he definitely is, mate. I think Klopp really thinks highly of Ryan Brewster. Have I heard of Garton Outdoor Centre? No, I haven't. No, sorry, mate, I haven't. What have we got? Joel said, but Karius was good. Yeah, but he didn't work out for Liverpool, mate, so I suppose that's how we judge him. Ali Hussein, welcome, mate. How are you? Shaqiri, that's a good shout as well, Brian. I mean, I know there's a lot of massive Shaqiri fans in the chat. I'm somebody that thinks he's a decent squad player to have. At the money that we got him for as well, I suppose we could sell him on for a tidy profit. I guess it depends on how we're judging successful or not. Been to Galway. Have I been to Galway? Yes, I think I've been to Galway on a couple of occasions, but not long term, mate. Just for a day, I believe. Ever been to Canada? Yes. My wife has family in Mississauga, which is, I believe, a suburb of Toronto. And I was over there. God, it was my daughter's first birthday, mate, so it was 14 years ago. Have I been to Kashmir? No, nor do I wear cashmere jumpers, mate, because they're out of my price range. It's just outside Letterkenny. Alright, fair enough. There's a Domino's in Letterkenny that's owned by the guy that used to manage the Domino's I worked in Dublin, actually. Do I know Liffey Valley? Did somebody just say yes, mate? I do know Liffey Valley well. William Cartwright said Karius cost Liverpool more than the fee will make. Failed signing. Well, no, he didn't, and no, he won't. We signed him for $4.5 million, and I think if the loan fee is taken into account and the fee with Besiktas, it will be around 10 to 12, mate, which is about double what we paid for him. Minamino or Firmino? Well, I can't really judge Minamino yet, can I, King Salah, because he's only just arrived, and Bobby is my favourite player at the club. Ali said he's injured his ACL. Sorry to hear that, buddy. I wish you a speedy recovery. Great content, Craig. Love the goo poo. Love the goo poo myself, Alex. I've no idea what that means, by the way, but fuck it, why not? We'll adopt it. You're from Clondalkin, Grizzy. Nice one. I used to work fairly close to Clondalkin in Park West. Was it Park West or City West? Park West. Yes, Park West was the one I worked in near Clondalkin. Where's the best place you went to in Letterkenny? I went up there, believe it or not, I went up there just to buy a car, mate. So I just literally drove up, got the car and drove home. Grobler or Allison? Allison for me. Do you really think we'll bench the majority of the normal 11? I don't think the Premier League's, or I think the Premier League's the most important, but it's Everton, a must win. I do think we'll end up rotating a lot, mate. Yes, I'm not saying that I agree with it, but I think the priority has to lie with the Premier League. And like you, mate, I hate the thoughts of even drawing with Everton onto a replay, but I think we probably will see a lot of changes. Best young player. I'm torn between Harvey Elliott, Ryan Brewster and Curtis Jones, mate. I can't decide. I really do rate them all very highly. Shay Giles said, I think the starting 11 will be weaker than from what I've seen. I think Phillips might play. Connor did send me an image of a starting 11 that was going around on social media. Let me just have a quick look, see if I can find it. I don't know how true this is, but let me just read it out to you guys. Where is it gone? Okay, one sec, guys. Right, so the starting 11 that he's seen floating around was Adrian, Neco Williams, Van Dijk, Nat Phillips, Andy Robertson, Adam Lallana, Curtis Jones, Takumi Minamino, Harvey Elliott, Ryan Brewster, and Divock Origi. That's the 11 that Connor's seen floating around social media. That's not too bad, actually, to be fair. What else we got? Ever thought of making... I'm not going to use the word fucking SOCCER, mate. It's football. And no, I've never thought of making a football team like DTFC. And I still can't fucking believe that somebody had the arrogance to name a fucking football team after themselves. Yeah, no, I've no thoughts of starting a football team. I do want to go into coaching someday, yes, and coach young players through, but no, I wouldn't start a team, nor would I be arrogant enough to name it after myself. What else we got? Do you think Trent will be our captain? Yes, someday, Josh. I think there's every chance he'll captain Liverpool Football Club, and he's openly said he wants to stay here and become a club legend, and look, he's well on the way to doing that. Thoughts on Trent? Love him, love him, love him, King Salah. Or King Shah, excuse me. Love him, love him, love him, mate. So used to saying King Mo Salah. He is only going to get better and better, and whether he moves into midfield or not, I suppose is an argument for another day, or a conversation for another day, but what a player he is at 21. FIFA Ronaldo Essie is going for 4-0, Minamino 2 for Minamino 2, Lallana 1 and Origi 1. Curtis Jones to go past the entire Everton team, mug long arms right off and score a worldie, said Gary Richards. He's only got little arms though, Gary, God bless him. Not Curtis Jones, obviously, I'm talking about T-Rex. Did Klopp sign Cocker? Yes, he did. He signed him on loan for that 6 month spell, and he played one game, I think, did he, and played up front for the few minutes he played, if my memory's correct. Great to see Stephen Cocker doing well, by the way. I believe he's playing in Turkey these days. Best Liverpool moment. I'm going to be a little bit selfish, right, and talk about the Barcelona stream that we did, Billy, last season. I mean, I was in Istanbul, so I was fortunate enough to be there for that one, but I still will never ever forget that comeback against Barcelona at Anfield when we had no Firmino, we had no Salah, Robbo went off injured after a snidey little tackle from Suarez, and to turn that around at Anfield the way we did, to not need extra time or anything, to beat them 4-0, that's a moment that's going to live with me for a very, very long time. It's going to take a lot to top that. Craig Athletic said nobody important. No. Craig Donia FC would probably be more the name. Do I want to manage my amateur football team, said Ali Hussein. I don't know where you live, mate, but if it's in the UK, then we probably have a problem with me getting to training. Where did I get the car from there, Kenny? My dad works... No, it was a private sale, mate. I bought it off a fella that lived up there. Am I live? Yes, William, I am. We are live, mate. Has Minamino scored a goal? Not for Liverpool, Elena, because he hasn't played for us yet, but yes, he has scored goals for Salzburg and Japan. Has Sturridge scored much over in Turkey? I don't know, Mark. Every time I look at the Trabzonspor team, I don't see him in it. I don't know if perhaps he's out injured at the minute, but I genuinely don't know. I hope he's doing well. Do we think Curtis Jones will play with Trent? Are we talking about in midfield for this game, Josh, or just the two of them starting, buddy? Because I don't think Trent will play in midfield in this game. I do think Curtis Jones will play, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play because he looks like a class player. Do you know Ballyboden GAA want to manage us? I know Ballyboden St Enders, mate. Yes, I went to school in Stillorgan, Grizzy, in Oatlands, which isn't a million miles away from Ballyboden. And yeah, I used to drive past Ballyboden St Enders quite a lot. But you don't want me as a manager, mate. I don't know enough about Gaelic to haven't played it since I was in school either. What else have we got? Do you play Football Manager? No, I don't play computer games at all, mate. I just don't have the time, quite frankly. I wish I did. What have we got? He pats about goals on Instagram. I'm not sure if Sturridge is scoring or if he's congratulating his team for scoring. What have we got here? King Shah said, imagine Trent moves to Manchester United, which will never happen. But if he does, what is your reaction? You're asking me to react to something that you've already admitted yourself is never going to happen, mate. So we wouldn't sell him to United first and foremost, and nor would he want to go, as you've rightly said. Big Man Steve said, for me, I would like to see Harvey Elliott start. It was a very difficult decision made for me to not include him in that team, but yeah, I'd love to see him play as well. Your dad plays for Dublin, Dean Rock. Oh, nice. Legend. Class, mate. Well in. Um, well done. Congratulations to your dad on all his achievements as well as part of the Dublin team. But well in, mate. Nice one. Please do pass on our best wishes. What else have we got? Liam said, still can't believe people, but Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the same sentence as Trent. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a very good defender, and he's still learning his trade. He's not as good going forward as Trent is, of course, but he is a very good defender. I will give him that one. What have we got? Sam said, I think Williams will play. Possibly, mate. Yep. It's very difficult to pick a starting 11 for this one. I mean, like, you could probably make 7 changes to what I've made and still make a sound argument about it. When's Klein coming back? This month. This month. I don't know if he'll play for us again, but he is on the road to coming back, and I think you'll either see him in a Liverpool shirt this month or you'll see him move on this month. But I think January is going to be a big month for Kleiny's comeback. Radical Gambino said, Danny Ings, love his poaching, shame he couldn't play at Liverpool. He's a player that needs to play. I've nothing but respect and admiration for Danny Ings. It was very unfortunate his time at Liverpool. I had such serious injuries, but he is a quality player, mate, and I hope he goes on to have a great career because the boy knows where the net is, that's for sure. And it's good to see him scoring some goals for Southampton, and I hope he has a great career because he seems like a top lad. Mark said, my uncle plays for Donegal. Do you know any of them played? I know some of the Hegartys. That's about it, Mark. And that's probably gone back a generation or two. What do I think of Manchester City? I suppose it depends on what context, mate, you're asking the question. Just as a team, the way they play football, very good. Excellent manager, really good players. As a club, I've no fucking time for them whatsoever. But their style of football is very good. I'll give them that one. Any idea why Salah's finishing and decision making have been so poor lately? I think all the forward three can be guilty of poor decision making in the last while. Salah's starting to find some form. I mean, he could have had a hat-trick yesterday only for the post and Dean Henderson making a worldly save. He took his goal quite well. But you've got to be getting into these positions to be missing. And that's one thing I always say about forward players is I'd rather them getting into positions and missing than, just not getting the chances. So he's still putting up decent numbers as Mo, and I honestly don't give a shit who scores the goals. I want Liverpool to win. I want the club to be successful. The individual accolades, whilst great, I support the club, not the players. The players are part of the club, but it's about the bigger picture for me. Okay, what else have we got? Liverpool have won 2 Champions Leagues and 5 European Cups. We've won 6 altogether, mate. You're going with 7 there, but we've won 6. Do you think we should keep Klein? No. I would have said yes back in the summer, but seeing how well young Williams is developing and stuff, and Keanu Hoover, I would say move Kleiny on. And he probably want to play football as well, to be fair. He probably won't want to be back up to Trent. How many subs were it before the 4-0 win against Barca? Can't remember. Haven't got a clue. I'm sure somebody can check by just clicking on the video, but I don't know, mate. I want to say 13, but I genuinely don't know. Do you think Matip should take his role back to starting 11? Do you think Gomez should keep playing for the rest of the season? I think Gomez should keep the shirt if he keeps putting in the performances, mate. I've said it time and time again about any position. If you get a chance in the team and you take it and you're performing, I think the shirt's yours. And Gomez has certainly taken his opportunity, as did Matip before him and Lovren. What else? Is Hoover out? I'm not sure, Mark. Potentially. I hadn't seen him with that team I spoke about earlier on. Or was he? No, he wasn't. Yes, maybe he has got a knock, mate. You've grown massively. Props to you. Thank you, mate. I'm genuinely surprised to have grown as much as we have, but happy about it as well, obviously. Can you take me off it? I don't know what you mean, Thomas, mate. I've no idea. Oh, I think you're talking to Brian, sorry. You had around 13,000 subs at the time, said Bassett. Christ, that is, what, 18,500 growth, something like that, since May? It was May, wasn't it? Or was it April? I think it was April, actually. That's ridiculous. I mean, I'd never really thought about that until right now. We've basically reversed those numbers 1-3 to 3-1. Yeah, brilliant stuff. What about Sepp Vandenberg for centre backs at TR Gaming? Long term, yes. For this game, I will be a little bit nervous unless he was alongside Van Dijk. When he played in the League Cup game against Aston Villa, it still showed he had some developing to do. And I just don't want to lose to Everton. I don't want to get knocked out of the FA Cup by the bidders, not with the season that we're having. I don't want it to be tainted in any way by getting beaten by those fuckers. So, yeah, just get through this game. Just put out a team that wins this game, and after that, let the cards fall as they may. David Neal said Kane out for 3 weeks minimum, could be up to 8 weeks with a torn hamstring. Yep. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I never want to hear of any player being injured, but this is a bit of a boost to us, obviously, playing Spurs on the 11th. Son will be back for that one, I believe, if my memory's correct. I think his suspension should be over by then, but not having Sir Harold of Tottenham, as I like to call him, available for them will be a bit of a boost to us, sure, but look, we should be looking to go there and win regardless of whether Kane's available or not. Thoughts on N'Golo Kante, asked Billy Barron. A wonderful fella by the looks of it, an exquisite footballer, and just he looks like one of life's good guys, mate. It's impossible to dislike N'Golo Kante, isn't it? Do you know League Slip? Yes, of course I do, mate. I played League Slip many times in football. Yes, and I had a friend who worked in, what was the big factory out in League Slip? The computer factory. Yeah, the friend that worked out whatever that factory was out there in League Slip. Can't remember which one. One of the computer companies. Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. Any update on Diego Carlos? Nope, not that I've seen, mate. Sorry. Do I want Liverpool? Who do I want Liverpool to sign right now? I don't really think we need to do much business in this window, to be honest, sad mate. I think the summer will probably see us sign, I suppose what you'd call a marquee player. Isn't Brewster injured? No. No, he is in the squad for the game tomorrow, mate. Klopp said as much in his press conference. I think there could be a Kane and Bale swap deal on the horizon. Spurs would be mental to let him go. Absolutely mental. Why take back an injury-prone Gareth Bale, who is an absolutely world-class footballer, don't get me wrong. But Spurs don't want a player on ridiculously high wages getting towards the end of his career to get rid of their captain, who's only coming towards the peak of his career right now. It just wouldn't make sense. Intel, yes, that was the one, Mark. Intel, that was the one. Mbappe 2020 said God, and if God says it, you know it's right. What have we got? By the way, love the stream, said Didika. I think that's how I pronounce your name. I hope that is, mate, and thank you, really appreciate that. Once you guys win the league, your channel will grow to 50k plus. Do you know what the funny thing is, Dominic, mate? It's you probably get more growth not being successful, if that makes any sense. Yeah, because the fume, people tune in for the fume, people tune in to see the anger, and people tune in to laugh at times. So look, Liverpool being successful has helped us out somewhat as well, yeah, but there are a lot of channels who can grow off the back of their team being pretty shit as well. But look, I would take slower growth for Liverpool to do well, of course I would. And 50k would be fucking lovely, mate. 100k is the real lifelong goal, because once you get 100,000 subscribers, you get the YouTube, is it the Diamond Award, or I don't know what the fucking award is called, but you get a little plaque from YouTube when you get 100,000 subscribers, and I want to get that just so I can give it to Connor. Have I seen the leaked Liverpool night kits? They're not real. If you're talking about the one with the fleck in it that looks like the candy shirt, it's not real. But I don't know if you are or not, mate. I've seen the leaked colours of the Liverpool kits, but no, I haven't seen ones that I would believe genuinely are next season's kits yet. But footy leaks are always good for those type of things. What else we got? What do I think of Minamino? I think he's going to be an absolute bargain, mate. 7.25 million quid for a footballer of his talents. It'll be another great piece of business by the club, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him in a Liverpool shirt. Grant said, Craig, love the way you treat everybody in here, red or not, respect for non-biased opinion, even though we've the best players and manager in the world. Thank you, Grant. I preach respect, mate, all the time, and I preach that once you come in here and treat myself and our subscribers with respect, you'll get that back infinitely. If you come in and become a dickhead, then you get booted out. Simple as that. But I always try and be respectful. Look, I have bad days where I'm an asshole. It happens, but I always try my best. Time Crisis said, Craig, that's not true. I don't know what isn't true, mate. So I can't really retort when I don't know which one of my comments you're responding to. The Nike shirts are only concept, not real, said Morton. Kyo's in the press, Gary. In the press, mate. Ready for later on. Kyo's Diet Coke, the food of champions. Who do you think Liverpool need to get this next transfer window? Nobody, mate. Honestly, don't think we need to do much business this window at all. In the summer, look, we all want the Havertz, Sancho, Mbappe, Timo Werner type transfer, don't we? But I don't think we really need to do that much. And as Klopp said, it's very hard to get somebody in to strengthen what is a very good Liverpool squad. William said Minamino might turn into another Suarez or Minamino. I keep having to correct myself on that one. Melissa, how are you, mate? Welcome. I'm still trying to see Time Crisis comment to see what it was I was wrong about, because if I'm wrong on something, I like to hold my hands up if I get it wrong. A backup for Mane and a defender, said Farzana is who they like to see bring in. You're right, but I think this is a different 30 years without a title. You're right, but I think this is different. 30 years without a title. Again, I'm not sure what that's about, Dominic, but 30 years without a title, mate, for our club is too long. It is too long. A club the size of Liverpool to not win the top division of English football for 30 years, yeah, it's been a long time coming, buddy, so we'll celebrate it like fuck when it happens. Koulibaly, not going to happen. I think he is available for transfer. Napoli looking at, is it Vertonghen? I think Napoli are being linked to making a move for. But we're not going to go and drop 100 million on Koulibaly. And nor, I think, should we go and drop 100 million on Koulibaly when we've got young centre-back talent coming through. And look, Koulibaly's a wonderful footballer, don't get me wrong. He is sensational, but there's no chance in hell we're going to sign him. What have you got? Oh, the silver play button. Yes, there you go. Yeah, that would be lovely, Dominic, wouldn't it, mate? The silver play button would be very nice. Yeah, I do like Dominic, by the way. I like what Dominic has to say. He talks about Liverpool on his channel quite a bit, and he talks a lot of sense. I was only introduced to his channel a while back by Far Isle, and I've watched a few videos, and I genuinely think he's a nice fella, and Manchester City fan, and I'd like to have him on, obviously, before we play Manchester City later on in the season for a chat, Dominic, if you're up for that, mate. I genuinely do appreciate your comments towards Liverpool, and you seem like a nice, down-to-earth dude, and the more of them in the world, the better. What else have we got? What do I think of Inter Miami? It's a pretty fucking cool name, isn't it? Inter Miami, like, it's pretty cool. Or Internazionale Miami, I believe, is the correct name. They've appointed their first manager, I believe. Somebody who's, I think, has won either the Copa Libertadores or the Copa Sudamerica. I'm not sure which one he's won, but I think he's won it on a couple of occasions. And yeah, fair play to Beckham. He was very clever when he went over and he signed a deal to play in the MLS. He had the option to start a franchise, and fair play to him. What else we got? Mighty Reds will celebrate in February 19th trophy, said Zida. Come on, you Blues, said Ryan Knight. Welcome in, mate. Do you despise any teams other than Everton or Manchester United? I'm not very fond of Chelsea, and I'm not very fond of Manchester City for varying reasons, mate. But I don't really hate anybody. But you said despise, and I kind of do despise United and Everton, I suppose. What else we got? What do you think of Haaland to Dortmund? Should Liverpool snap up Alcacer, who does want to leave by the looks of it? I don't know if Alcacer is good enough to play for Liverpool, if the truth be told. What do I think of Haaland to Dortmund? I think it was the correct move for him. I don't see why on earth he would have went to United. Dortmund makes much more sense for him. It's a league far more familiar to him than the Premier League. I mean, the Austrian League, the German Bundesliga, they're not a million miles away. Obviously, the standard will be a bit higher in the Bundesliga. Well, they're both Bundesliga, the German Bundesliga. But he looks like a wonderful talent, and the 20 million quid or whatever it was that they paid for him will probably turn out to be an absolute bargain. Again, another player like when I spoke of Maddison earlier on, who should be in no rush. I mean, the move to Dortmund is a good move for him, and I don't mean to say bigger moves, but I can't think of a better phrase, will always be there from down the line. What else have we got? Do I think Minamino will score? I hope so, Paulie, but I mean, I don't even know if he's going to start yet, buddy. So, Fabian Ruiz from Napoli, he'd be perfect, said Mechatronics Geek. You're not from England, so why do you hate them? Um, okay, well, the fact that I'm not from England shouldn't really come into any conversation around football. Big guy, Jur. Um, I feel like you're leading me down the road here where you're about to say next I've no right to support Liverpool because I'm not from England. But I hate them when I speak about Manchester City because of the way the the club has been run pretty much, and the way that they seem to have openly flouted the rules, in my opinion. Chelsea, I just don't like their fan base. And look, I don't mean to lump all Chelsea fans in together because there are some decent ones, but I've come across too many dickhead Chelsea fans to have any time for them really. But again, I don't mean to lump everybody in together. I can only talk about my experience, and I'm sure that there are some really nice Chelsea fans. I just haven't been fortunate enough to come across many of them. What else we got? Other guy from Salzburg's gone to Wolves. Yes, I can't remember the guy's name, but the I can't remember the guy's name, but I know who you're talking about. What else we got? Did we get a gold Premier League trophy if you go unbeaten? I believe so. I think Arsenal got one when they went invincible. Will I be watching Six Nations next month? Yes, definitely. Connor, mate, definitely. Hope for a better performance from Ireland this time. What else we got? Gerrard versus Lampard. Who was the better player? Gerrard. Call me Liverpool bias, but I think the difference with Gerrard and Lampard, right? Like Lampard, I think scored more goals if my memory's correct, and Lampard was an amazing footballer. I just think Gerrard was more naturally gifted than Frank Lampard. But Frank Lampard trained and worked his ass off and got every piece of success out of his career. And I've got nothing but respect for Lampard as a player. But obviously I think Gerrard's a better footballer. And Scholes shouldn't even be anywhere near that fucking conversation, by the way. I'd never understand why it's Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard. Gerrard, Lampard, fair enough. But Scholes, nah, not in the same ballpark. Laporte and Sané are back for City. No, they're not, mate. Laporte is still weeks away from being ready to play. Pep came out and said as much earlier on today. I have no idea about Sané, but he couldn't be too far away actually. Who's better at their peak, Alonso or Fabinho? You're talking about two very different footballers there. One is a more normal six, as in a more defensive midfielder, whereas Alonso was more of a regista, kind of spraying passes around and breaking up play and doing more sexy stuff, I suppose. So it's a very difficult one to say, and we haven't seen Fabinho long enough really to, I think, give a fair opinion. Did you hear about the death of the Gangham player? Or, excuse me, I'm not sure how you pronounce the name of the French team there. Gango, is that how you pronounce it? No, I didn't, and of course I'm saddened to hear about it. What else we got? Has Liverpool gone to win the Champions League this season? I can't answer that question, mate. I genuinely don't know. But what I will say is what I always say: it'll take a very good team to beat us over two legs. Ericsson's going to Inter, said Steve. Well, he's been linked to Inter, mate. I mean, it makes sense for Spurs to sell him in this month rather than lose him for nothing at the end of the season, although he could well sign. Just hit me up when the time comes. We'll figure something out. Love your personality. Thank you, Dom. It's right back at you, buddy, and I will definitely be in touch, mate, if that's okay. Ahead of the game. Yeah, I'll definitely be in touch, mate. I don't know if you have an email address linked to your YouTube or anything, but to ever contact me, mate, there's AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com, Dom, or AnfieldAgenda@gmail.com, buddy. You can get me on either one of them. But it would be a pleasure to have a chat, mate, ahead of the game, and thank you. 23 years of age and died in a car crash. That is terribly sad to hear. Sincerely. Yeah, so fucking young. What have we got? Moussa Dembele linked with Chelsea. I did see that one. Yeah, I think they had a bid turned down from, and Leon, who we know that Johnny Cuntylocks is the nickname that we gave for their president. Very, very difficult man to negotiate with. So yeah, I don't know. They said that he's not going anywhere in January, so we'll have to wait and see. What position is Minamino? He can play as an attacking midfielder or he can play as a wide forward. Klopp is cleverly switching players, said Davy Hughes. Yes, man's a genius, David. No arguments here, buddy. Josh said Adama Traore to Liverpool. Am I the only one that thinks he's not quite there yet? Look, he's undoubtedly a talent, but he's going through a really good patch at the minute, Adama Traore, but I still at times see too much rawness in him. But then again, maybe that's something that could be coached under Klopp. But I don't think that the Wolves are going to let him go anytime soon, mate. Wolves are a club that are trying to build for the future on the up and up and challenge for those European places. And he's got a fine manager there as well in Nuno. Thoughts on Cody? So happy that he's back up in the Premier League, captain in Wolves. And he's just another example of, alright, if it doesn't work out for you first time at one of the big clubs, keep your head down, work away. He wasn't afraid to drop back down through the divisions, and now look at him. Absolutely quality centre-back who sprays passes around for fun. Delighted for him. And seems like a really nice fella as well. Spoke very well in Monday Night Football in any interviews I've ever heard him. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that one a night. I didn't realise we'd been on an hour and 20 minutes already. Time has absolutely flown by. If you've enjoyed the stream and you haven't yet subscribed, folks, please do take a second, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, give the stream a thumbs up, and of course, if you're watching this on playback later on, please do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. I will be back on Sunday for a watch-along of the Everton game. Game kicks off at 4:01. We will be going live at about 20 to 4, something like that. So, hope to see you there. And look, thank you as always for your time. Enjoy your weekend, ladies and gents, and I will chat to you on Sunday, where hopefully we knock the bitters out of the FA Cup. But until then, thank you for your time, and up the motherfucking Reds. Love to you all.